Namaskar. I, Dr. Smita, welcome you all on FFD's YouTube channel for Friday Samvad special. During this journey in search of secrets of freedom, let's welcome Mr. Kumar Rampura from New Jersey. Mr. Kumar, hearty welcome to Samvad session.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself for the sake of audience.
Sure. I've been in US since after finishing my graduate, undergrad in India, and we have a family of 2 kids, and we live in New Jersey. Okay. My wife and I, both of us joined FFD, and I joined for diabetes, and my wife joined for the non-diabetes batch. We are on batch 78. So I am in the technology consulting world, so work is always hectic. As young, I never paid attention to what I did. I was never athletic, so I would play, but never something that I held on for a long time. Yeah. So gradually, I guess it was in my father was diabetic, so diabetic crept in, and we all start thinking that diabetes, if it comes in, it's never gonna go away. So I said, okay, fine, it's in the family, so I've got it, so I'm gonna keep it until I die.
Okay, I have got one curious question here. You are, I suppose, 48 years young software consultant.
Right.
So diabetes since how many years? I think 2, 3, 4, 5, like small kind of a.
No, I have been diabetic for taking medicine for 15 years. I 15? Was diabetic 15. What? Yes.
Oh.
I was diagnosed diabetic when I was 31, and it so happened, I would have never gone and checked myself. I was trying to get a life insurance, and I'm so glad that they do all of those checkups. So it came up as diabetic, and they said your premium is going to be high. I was like, what? And then I went to the doctor and got a proper checkup done, and that's how it came. And then for 2 years, at least, I wasn't willing to take medicine. I took all kinds of Ayurvedic medicine. Nothing really worked out. And then I said, okay, I'll have to settle down to taking medicine, and took medicine. I've been taking medicine, and I don't think diabetes medicine goes down, it only goes up. So it went from 2 tablets to 6 tablets, and the doctor kept adding more tablets.
So is there any story joining behind FFD? How you believed in FFD then?
I would thank my wife very much. She has been very supportive. She has been trying to find ways to help me manage with my diabetes. A family friend of ours, Badri, he joined FFD batch 78 as non-diabetic, and his wife was so enthusiastic, and there were other in the community who are doing FFD. So my wife came to know about, she spoke, she got all the information, and then she told me, this was just before the end of the year in 2021. Anyway, okay. I was thinking of having a New Year's resolution. I said, okay, why not try FFD? I'll be very honest. I didn't know anything about FFD, nor did I know about Dr. Tripathi, nothing. I believed in my wife. I always thought she was going to do good for me. So she said, join. I said, fine. I registered. And then on Jan 8th, when we started, that's when it was the eye opener. That's when I really understood what FFD was on that inaugural session that was there. Until then, I had no idea what was going to happen.
And how was the journey with FFD? How was your routine? Was it difficult to follow or something like that? Diet requires too many things to procure. So in New Jersey, procuring things for a smoothie, the couple wheat and all that. How was the journey with that?
I don't think it was that difficult. Okay. At least in New Jersey where we live, finding all ingredients that are required to do the FFD diet is very much available, and I think it's all over US. Nothing is a constraint for us. It's just the attitude and a willingness to do it. Okay. When I came to know that we have to become vegan and then go on a strict diet, I was a little suspicious, not
Oh,
because the cooking of the food and other things are not possible. It's suspicious about, can I keep up with it, because I know my own cravings and how I eat. I was very suspicious about that part.
hmm.
My wife has been a very big help. She made sure that the morning breakfast, the lunch, the kind of the the 70-25% principle that we use is
Hmm.
properly done. And
Hmm.
now I had to bring myself to just eating those. And because it was pandemic, we were still working from home, so I was able to quickly get used to the diet. And I
Yeah.
started seeing my weight drop very quickly. And that was the sign. I said, oh, there's something happening here. And then my medicine started dropping. And
Okay.
within a span of 16 days, all my diabetes medicine were taken off.
That is little unbelievable. Just can you please repeat it? How many
In
days?
16 days,
And how
I
many?
joined on Jan 8th, and
Okay.
Jan 24th, I stopped taking all medicine
How
except
many
for one that
medicines
is,
were there?
I was taking 6 diabetes. In fact, I would say 6 for diabetes, 4 metformin and 2 glipizide.
Oh, so quite a lot medicine was there. And it gone within 16 days, you are saying.
16 days. By Jan 24th, I was medicine mukta.
Wonderful, wonderful. For me, Mr. Kumar was always a list of question box. He always comes with a list of questions, right from Roy Taylor to Dr. Pramod Tripathi, right from carbohydrates to minerals, and right from anti-gravity, weighted anti-gravity to strength training and muscle building. So lot of like what you can say, inner transformation study is gone into this FFD journey. So can you enlighten our audience regards with that? What was the enlightening points in your during this journey?
Sure. Uh, as I said earlier, right, I had started living with diabetes. So I never took the curiosity to really understand what was diabetes and what's happening in my metabolism.
Yeah.
And then when I attended Dr. Pramod Tripathi's session, it was an
Hmm.
eye-opener for me to understand what is insulin resistance and what is the medicine that we take is not really solving the problem. It's only solving the symptom. And the
Hmm.
core problem was the insulin resistance.
Hmm.
And that is what needs to be solved.
Hmm.
And and also the evidence that it can be solved. So
Hmm.
that's when I started getting curious to know more.
Hmm.
And I would say I didn't know where to start from.
Hmm.
I made sure that I watched all of Dr. Pramod Tripathi's videos that were given as part of the program, and also
Hmm.
Dr. Malar's videos. So that was
Hmm.
my first set of information. And
Hmm.
then I started venturing out. And as
Hmm.
you can see, I do have a liking for reading. So I naturally, I took an interest to figure out and understand what Roy Taylor has done, because that's where the genesis has started of
Hmm.
the reversal research, and they have done a lot of work in it in UK. So that's the curiosity, and now I do have a clarity, at least to some extent,
Hmm.
as to what is it that I need to be focusing. And Dr. Malar said the questions we ask are
Hmm.
wrong most of the times. We
Hmm.
ask, is this good for diabetes? Is that good for diabetes? He said, no, that's not the question we should be asking. Is this
Hmm.
good for me, this body that I have? Because
Hmm.
every body that, every individual is different, and
Hmm.
every body is different. So
Hmm.
I have to understand what I eat, what I do, is that good for this body? And that's the right question, is what Dr. Malar has helped me understand. And now that's what I keep asking myself, is to understand how does this body work, and what is it that is required for this body to become, okay once again,
Hmm.
be insulin, reduce the insulin resistance. So in this process, what I've understood is that medicine, even though it's taken off, I can keep my blood sugar low by doing the anti-gravity exercises that have been prescribed. And as Dr. Tripathi said, all over the world, doctors should prescribe anti-gravity exercises to all patients. Even though it is a cheat, it's a good cheat to do. And after I have a meal, that is one thing that I've been very consistent. I do a weighted anti-gravity. I keep 2-pound dumbbells and I do climb the steps. I climb about 240 steps, and then I do 30 minutes of 30 reps of nitric oxide dump. I do it at home. I do it at office. At home, it's easy. And at office, I work out of my client. I'm a consultant, so I work out of my client offices. So in US, every building has a staircase, on the side, and people normally don't walk there. So I go there and I do my stuff and I come back. So it has never bothered me. Initially it took me time to figure out what should I be doing, but now I do it. I do it at office. I do it at home, and that's something that has really helped me. The second thing that I have really understood is that life events happen. I dropped my weight, and twice since January, I went off track from the diet because I had to do an international travel, and then I got COVID as well. So during that phase, I had to do what I need to do to take care of my life, and my weight gain happened during that process. Fasting is something that has helped me bring my weight back. And I've been doing the Ekadashi fasting for quite some time, and it was always a struggle. Even it was just for one day, on the Dashmi, which is the 10th day, I would store up. I would eat more because I had to fast on the Ekadashi. It was very funny though. And it was just one day of fasting and I would still get headaches. It wasn't that easy. But I kept through it because of religious purpose. I knew something good was going to come. Now, but when I heard Dr. Tripathi explain that we should start loving fasting, I was like, this is crazy. I can't even do one day of fasting. And he's talking about doing loving fasting and doing fasting for multiple days. Then, in phase 2 of the program, we were asked to do the fasting. And it was at that point where I had traveled to India and had gained weight. I had just come back and my entire batch was getting ready to do fasting, long fast. I said, fine, I'll just go ahead and do it. It is, I would say, 2 things happening there. One was, you need that group support, which FFD provides us through the WhatsApp group that we have. That kept me motivating. And that was my first long fast of 3 days, 72 hours. I think it was more than 72, 3 days for sure. And that's when, I realized that I can do a long fast. I can do more than 1 day of fasting. And then just recently I finished 4.5 days, 108 hours of fasting.
Wonderful.
After COVID.
Wonderful.
So now I'm firmly in belief that I will have life events. Things will happen. I might gain weight, but fasting is going to be my way of bringing it to my normalcy.
Yeah.
Along with that, the other thing that I have now understood through the FFD program is the importance for exercise. I've always knew it. It's just that I never did it. As they say, common knowledge is not common practice. And I fell into that group. Now I have started doing the 3-2-1 exercise pattern routine. What I've started doing it with my wife at home. And I'm so glad that the videos are provided to us. And, I and my wife, we can put that on and we can do it together. It's a time for us to bond. And at the same time, it's time to get healthy as well. So we've been working on that. So now going forward, the way I see it is exercise and fasting are going to be my 2 Brahmastra.
Best friends in the journey.
Best friends in my journey as I go forward.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing this. I'll try to summarize it. So knowledge is the key for the success. So knowledge about the diabetes, knowledge about the medicine, knowledge about the test, knowledge about the diet has helped you to turn your journey in a right direction. Okay. Fasting was a greatest tool you got through an FFD. You were afraid of that, and the fasting is, you are able to do it 108 hours fasting at one go. That's what you can say. In the person who was afraid of fasting doing 108 hours of fasting is a great achievement. I will say that. During this, what was HbA1c when you joined the program, and what is your current HbA1c? And yes, weight loss. How many kg weight loss is there?
I have lost 30. I was at 155 and I'm at 130 now. I have lost about 25 pounds.
We will need units because we are thinking in kgs.
Yeah. So that would be, I think, close to like 10 to 11 kgs, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 kgs loss required to make this handsome Mr. Kumar.
Yeah. And I'll have to send Dr. Tripathi a bill. I had to change all my wardrobe now. None of my pants fit. None of my shorts fit. So, yeah. So I'll have to send Dr. Tripathi a bill.
Okay. And what about HbA1c? How was the journey with the HbA1c?
I was at, I think, 7.5. I think the last time I saw it was at 6.9, but I do have another checkup coming up in the next 2 weeks. I'm hoping that it would have gone down even further.
Let me share one slide. I think I have one slide for you. Just let me share. Let me check that I can share. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, okay. You have the right numbers there. Okay.
Yeah. So 48 years, young software consultant from New Jersey, a technology consultant, diabetic since 2010, diabetes medicine taking since 2010, and cholesterol medicine is also was present February 2010. Free from 2022. You joined in January, so you're free from the end of the January, right? Am I right with that? Yeah. HbA1c when you joined was 6.6, dropped down to 6.1. Weight when you joined was 66.5 and current weight is 59.8. I think the numbers are correct, Mr. Kumar?
More or less. I'll be honest, I never did this before after thing, so I've been just going with the flow. So
wonderful, no issues. So that's it. So this has been a very wonderful journey. Anything else you want to share? Because most of the people are afraid of joining. Most of the people are afraid of losing the weight. Most of the people are afraid of losing the medicines part also. When the last medicine is there, there is a little anxiety creeps in. So how do you feel with free of medicine, and how you look forward without medicine alive?
I would say that, we all understand that we need to get out of diabetes if possible. One is we just don't know how, right? And, if there is somebody who can tell us, guide us, we should definitely take their help. Now, there are a lot of diets out there in the market. They will help us bring the weight down. If we follow it properly. And there are many people who talk to me about FFD. I tell, look, I can give you the FFD diet. It's a document. Give it to you right now. But I will bet on it, you will do none of it. Because human behavior is that we all want to get information, but we don't really practice anything that we've heard until there is a drive. And there are some people who are instinctively driven, but for a lot of us, when we are diabetic, we've lived it for so long, we need somebody like FFD to take us through the path, because it has laid out a structure, and all we have to do is, like we sit in a car hoping the driver will take us to the destination. We just have to sit and do what we are asked. That's all. And and FFD will take us to the destination, and there will be a point where we can take charge of that. At that point, until then, all we have to be is a passenger who is doing what is asked of them. So from that perspective, if you've been hearing about FFD from multiple others, but if you haven't decided to join, the best thing you will do for yourself is join and do what they have asked you to do to the best of your ability for 8 weeks. That's all that's required. And by that time, you will have seen enough change in yourself. Now you will become the believer and you will be like me, telling about it to others.
FFD companions.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's an important message that wish is very, very important. Drive is very, very important. Motivation is very, very important. Group energy is very, very important, on which the FFD works. Thank you, Mr. Kumar, and best of luck for your journey. And best of luck for GTT. So I like dreaming like that. I'll take your interview when you will pass the GTT, the most difficult test in the diabetes world. So
that's my goal as well.
Looking forward to that. So I wish that we will meet again in GTT interview. Okay. Yep. Thank you, viewers. Please subscribe our channel. Please like our video and be blessed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you.